Hey, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys, or in this case Hono Studios figure unboxing. Today we are taking a look at the first ever release for Hono Studios, which technically is still Hot Toys. Just to quickly explain, pretty much Hot Toys has decided to create this kind of new brand for these comic type of figures in 1/6 scale, and today we are taking a look at the first ever release, which is Wolverine from X-Men or Marvel Comics. This figure, I don't know why it took so long for me to get it. This guy has been released for a couple of months now, but I'm barely getting it now. Still in all, very excited to get a look at it. I am so thrilled, and I love the promo images, and the figure itself has looked amazing in all of the images that I've seen so far, so cannot wait to see it in person myself. As always, guys, I do want to let you know I purchased this figure on Sideshow Collectibles, and I will include the link to their website on the description of the video. I do believe, as always, there is a wait list, so if you guys want to go ahead and join it, I will make sure to include the link so that way you guys can do so. So with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Starting off as always with the box itself. So I will say this, there's no Hot Toys logos of any kind. As you guys can see there, we see the Hono Studios at the bottom right, but the art itself of the box is absolutely awesome. So we first pretty much get an image of Wolverine right there at the very top, where we get kind of like this orange background with his claws. We do get the name of Wolverine along with the X-Men logos right there in the middle, a Marvel logo, and the name of the figure as well, Wolverine, at the bottom. I like the fact that they decided to keep the font for the original Wolverine logo from the comics, so that looks really awesome. No complaints about it at all. On the right side, so it's a yellow background. If you guys can see very well, we have the left eye of Wolverine on that imagery, along with an X-Men and Marvel logo and another logo for Hono Studios. Again, no Hot Toys logos whatsoever. It's like they don't want to associate themselves at all with this figure in itself. On the back side, we just get an X-Men logo, a couple of images of Wolverine. We get some warning illegal information for Hono or Hot Toys Studios, and in the background, pretty much just some claw marks along with a yellow coloring that to me looks really good. I am loving this box because it's so bright and it just kind of gives life to the whole imagery of the box. So to me, it looks really cool. On the other left side, we don't get his eye. If I'm not mistaken, we get the wording Wolverine in the background, and then we get his X-Men logo, Marvel logo, and another Hono Studio. So to me, this is a really nice box. Honestly, I love how it looks. So for this part of the video, we don't have to snap my fingers. We can just pretty much open up the box. So it is a weird opening. So as you guys can see, we open it from the bottom and then from the top, and then we just pretty much get this orange background with Hono Studios Collectibles, and along with the description of the figure. Feel free to pause if you guys do want to go ahead and read it. So this way of unboxing is a first for me. I don't think I've ever seen this from Hot Toys. Now this to me is my favorite part of the box. It's the fact that we get the instructions for the figure, but this time, instead of getting a pamphlet, we just get it in the actual cardboard part of the box. To me, this is great and an awesome idea by Hot Toys. I feel like we don't have to pretty much waste paper or or fold the pamphlet again and have to put it back up and then take it out again. We just get to take a look at the box. So to me, that is a great idea in my personal opinion. So as far as the box, we get your typical plastic tray. There's nothing different about it. So first impressions on Wolverine himself. Oh man, this guy looks great. I mean, I don't know why Hot Toys did not want to associate themselves with the comic figures. This guy looks absolutely amazing. He is heavy. I did not expect him to be this heavy, but this guy looks awesome. The color of the suit looks great. He is bright. He's colorful. He pops up without question throughout the image of of this video. He looks absolutely amazing. We are off to a fantastic start. We will obviously take more of a deeper look at him a little bit later on in the video. So now that we have unboxed the figure, we'll take a look at the few accessories that he comes with. We'll do a couple of side-by-side comparisons. We'll take a look at the figure in detail, and of course at the end we'll do some posing and final thoughts. Okay, everyone, so we get to the accessories. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of things going for the accessories, which I'm totally okay with, though, because the pricing of the figure was low, so I guess it's understandable if there's not that many accessories. But we first get to this display base, which is a plain rectangular in color black with some yellow on the sides. That hole right there is where you're supposed to install the comic. A little bit more on that a little later in the video. We do get a clear pole with a crotch holder, not grabber, but holder. shoulder, which I'm totally fine with. It will help us pose the figure, although I don't think I will need it. And again, the display base itself, it's color black. We do get the name of the Wolverine at the bottom left. No issues with the display base, but I do think it's a little too big for me. It probably will take up a lot of space. And then this right here is what's supposed to go installed into that hole of the display base. So it's pretty much just a tray where you're supposed to install the comic inside, just like I did. Now, I knew that Hot Toys or Hono Studios would not include a comic. What they included was just a cardboard cover that you guys have to cut with your scissors and just install onto here. I don't have any comics myself. I'm really not into comics that much, so I had to resort to this. But if you guys do have your own comic, you guys can just insert it on here. And then the plastic clear tray, I put it on top of the actual cover so that way it doesn't fall off, and then you just have to install it onto the display base to complete the whole setup. To me, I like the idea of it. It is a first for us, so no issues with it whatsoever. And then we do get 3 face plates, all with different poses. So starting off with the right, that one has like a smirk type of smile to it. I will touch more on these face plates whenever we take a look at the figure, and I will let you guys know which one is the best. The one in the middle is supposed to show this kind of angry type of attacking type of pose to it. I really love the texture of the teeth on both of the heads, both of the face sculpts on the right. The one on the left is just a serious type of look to it. That one is the one that came with the figure. There's no skin texture whatsoever with these, and I'm okay with that. Again, this is an animated / comics figure, so I have no issues with them not including any type of skin texture on them. To me, all 3 look good on them, and we'll try them on the figure a little bit later on. And again, I will let you guys know which one is the best. And then we do get 4 hand pieces. So the 2 on the right is with his metal claws. Sadly, the claws are not made of metal. They are made out of plastic, and I really don't like that, but because as you guys can see, they can get bent really easily, and I feel like if I make just a wrong move, they might break. And another thing too is that they are not detachable. So the thing is that again, if I move one of the claws wrong, it might break, and to reinstall it will be pretty much impossible at that point. Now the gloves themselves, I do like the texture of them. They're pretty much made out of plastic, and you can tell that the character has gloves. And then the 2 hands on the left, I really don't know what to make of them. They came with the figure. I'm not sure if it's just supposed to show him kind of trying to grab something or kind of in a relaxed type of pose, so it's kind of hard to guess what the pose is, but I do like the fact that at least we got the option with the metal claws. And then speaking of metal claws, so we get these effect pieces that are supposed to go install on top of the metal claws. I'll be honest, I am not the biggest fan of these, but it's not because Hot Toys didn't do a good job of them. It's just that once you install them onto the figure, the look of it is not that great. Again, I can't blame Hot Toys that much because it is really hard to create motion when it comes to effects of any kind. For example, with the lightsaber pieces for Star Wars characters, they do the same thing, and it's not really the greatest results. So I feel like it's the same thing here, but feel free to disagree with me in the comments. But I will say this, for the whole accessories, I think we're off to a good start. I like what we have, even though it's not that many things. Okay, and then we get to Wolverine. So I gotta tell you guys, this is a great figure. I don't understand why Hot Toys did not want to, associate their name with this figure, but this guy just looks great. So with the helmet, as you guys can see, the texture of it is not the same as the actual suit. It's made out of plastic, as well as the eyepieces, the black eyepieces. Now the suit itself is just made out of fabric, so that is a different texture, but I am totally okay with that. That face plate, which is pretty much just a serious look, I like it a lot. It looks great on the figure. And you guys can pretty much just adjust the helmet or the face sculpt, so that way it makes him look either angrier or whichever pose you guys want to create on him. And also, I like how it's installed onto the figure. It's installed very nicely. The texture of the suit, so the black lines on his sides and on his shoulders, I think they're made out of pleather. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that, but the actual suit itself is made out of fabric. I love how his muscles are pretty much just showing out throughout the whole suit. So his abs, his back, his chest, his legs, everything is pretty much shown out throughout the whole suit, and the body proportions to me are absolutely perfect. This guy is muscular. He is super muscular, and that is the way that he is in the comics. So to me, Hot Toys hit it. They did a phenomenal job with the body proportions and also with the silicone arms. So thank goodness we got silicone arms. For a second, because of the pricing, I thought we were gonna get plastic, but thankfully we do not. Now it has its hair, which looks great. It does not feel like hair, by the way. The texture is the same. The vein work is done absolutely awesome, and again, the arms are just big, man. They are really muscular. These are some of the best arms I have ever seen. They're very similar to the ones that I got for Thor from Love and Thunder, so they're fantastic. No issues with them whatsoever. These arms are perfect in my personal opinion. As I take off his armor from his arms, you guys can see the whole arm on its own, and again, just the texture is great. He looks muscular, no issues whatsoever. You guys can see his muscles, his veins, his hair, so perfect, without question, perfect. And very glad that they did this with this figure, and I'm pretty sure they're going to start doing it with more figures in the future because the results are absolutely amazing. The armor in his arms, belt, shoulders, and boots, it's all color blue. The texture of it is a little bit different, so as you guys can see with the armor is kind of more like worn out, I would say, but with his shoulders it's just plain blue. The thing that I really don't like about the shoulder pieces is that they go attached onto these holes on the actual shoulders, as you guys can see right there. So I get what Hot Toys Hono Studios was trying to do here, but when it comes to posing, as you guys can see, I can still see the shoulder even though I installed the shoulder armor back, so it's gonna be a little bit of a weird look. So I think that they could have done a little bit different or something different to make it more natural, but well, that's just my thought. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments. And then the boots themselves, so I don't think they're actual plastic. I think these are actually sculpted because the material is just really hard, and I love the texture of the boots. They look great on the guy, and thank goodness also they did a joint right there, a seam line between the ankles. So my last unboxing I did Obi-Wan Kenobi, he does not have any seam line in his ankles, and I cannot tell you guys how much of a struggle it was to pose the guy. So thankfully this Wolverine does have that seam line. And then the belt itself also is colored red, so the colors are nicely done. The paint applications are great. This guy looks bright. He's popping up all over my imagery here on the camera. He looks absolutely amazing. So now that we have taken a look pretty much at the whole figure, I did want to go ahead and try the other face plates to see which one is better. As I mentioned before, this serious look one is really good. I like it a lot, but let's take a look at the other ones. Okay, so we have now the grinding teeth pose along with also his metal claw arms or hands, excuse me. So as I mentioned before, the metal claws are really long, and even though I don't like the look of it, I wish they were smaller. This is accurate to the figure itself or the comics. The comics, they've always shown Wolverine to have these long claws, and they look good on him. And then the faceplate, to me, this one is my favorite. Feel free to disagree with me, but to me this is my favorite one. The pose of it is great, and if I just bent the head a little bit lower, oh my goodness, he looks awesome. He looks angry. He looks almost possessed, like he's trying to really kill somebody, like he's about to go in a rage pretty much. So I like the look of it a lot. But again, feel free to disagree with me in the comments which faceplate you guys prefer. To me, it's between this one and the first one that we took a look at. I'm going with this one for now because again, I just love the angry look, and with the metal claws, it's just gonna show the whole posing. It's gonna be better in my personal opinion. But I did want to go ahead and try out the other one just so that we can put all three faceplates. Okay, and now with the third and final faceplate, which is kind of like a smirk. I'm thinking it's a smirk. Please let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. I'll be honest, I really don't like this one that much. I think the execution of it is fine. It came out good, but just to me, Wolverine, I don't see him to be a funny guy in any way. This guy is all rage, anger, and just trying to kill you pretty much. So to me, that's not a faceplate that I would really use on the figure, so I'm gonna go with the other two. Now with the articulation, so this guy does have articulations on his actual feet. You guys, as you guys can see, you can bend the toes all the way till there. Thankfully, as I mentioned before, this guy has a seam line on his ankles, so pretty much you guys can move the ankles to the front and to the bottom as much as you guys can try. As you guys can see, to the top it goes all the way till there, and to the sides you guys were able pretty much to see, since they are installed via a ball joint, you guys can pretty much turn the whole foot around, but I'm not going to try it here. I don't want to just have it come apart. With the legs themselves, they do stretch really nicely, as you guys can see, all the way till there. As I mentioned previously, the body articulations are fantastic. I'm sorry, the body proportions are fantastic. The leg bends all the way to the back till there, and then if you guys want to bend it to the front with his knee, it bends very nicely as well. So we're off to a great start with the articulations. I feel like the figure moves very nicely in my personal opinion. Also, the legs do bend to the sides, as you guys are able to see right there, so it gives me a lot of flexibility when posing the figure, because I can pose it to the sides in different ways. So to me, we're off to a fantastic start, as I mentioned before, with the articulations. And then with his mid part or chest area, so he does turn to the sides a lot, as you guys are able to see right there, both left and right, it turns nicely. That is great. He does go all the way to the front until there, and as you guys can see right there, the fabric does bend, but I don't think it will get damaged in any way. And also, it's not like I'm gonna pose the figure that way either. And then he does go all the way to the back till there, so the back is great as well as the legs. With the arms now, so excuse me, I'm sorry, with the chest still right, moving it to the sides, he, again, as I mentioned before, he moves nicely, no issues with it at all. And then with his arms, so you guys can pretty much bend the elbow, and this is something that I've noticed with other silicone arms. The arms themselves bend a lot, but still I would say the arm still looks legit. There's no weird bending in any way in the shoulders or elbows. So these arms still pretty much execute well, and as you guys can see, I can really move the arms a lot. They are installed via a ball joint onto his actual body. You guys can just you guys just have to adjust the arms so that way they look natural, but the arms would move very, very, very nicely. And then with the helmet, still same thing, install into a ball joint. He moves it moves all the way to the top till there, all the way to the bottom till there. And then if you guys want to go ahead and just pretty much tilt it to the sides, honestly, the head also does its work. I mean, it moves very nicely, as you guys can see. It moves all the way, and then it also turns around because it is installed into the ball joint. So even for a really cheap figure, the articulations are fantastic. The body proportions the same. The whole look of the figure is absolutely amazing. I have yet to find an actual bad complaint about this figure, honestly. He looks great in every single way, in my opinion. You guys can find a little bit of a detail here and there, but to me, so far so good. Okay, for a quick side-by-side comparison, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but on the right side we have Days of Future Past Wolverine, which I think is the latest Wolverine figure we have gotten before these Hono Studios figures. Obviously, we have all of the ones from the Deadpool and Wolverine movie featuring Hugh Jackman, but of course those haven't arrived yet, so this would be the latest Wolverine figure we have. First and foremost, I'm shocked how taller this Wolverine is compared to the Hono Studios one, although I've always known Wolverine to be a short character, especially in the Marvel vs. Capcom game that I used to love a lot when I was a kid. First and foremost, both figures are absolutely amazing, but I gotta tell you, the Hono Studios Wolverine is a better figure to me. Number one, the silicone arms, the body proportions, how muscular he is, and also there's just something about the comics suit, the yellow color, the blue, just the coloring of the whole suit itself. It's so amazing that there's no question to me that is the better figure. That is the best Wolverine to me that we have gotten up to date, whether it's Hugh Jackman or in the comics. But still in all, both figures look good. Very happy to have them, but to me, I'm going with the left Wolverine as the better figure. And then also, why not bring out Deadpool? By the way, I'm getting chills right now just looking at these two guys together, and this is not even the actual pairing. I can't even imagine how great this is gonna look once we have that Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine from the same movie. And there's just something about red and yellow; those colors match up very nicely. Like, to me, in this imagery, they both look absolutely amazing. Again, just the paint applications of the suits themselves, again, just know that if you guys have both of these figures, they're gonna pretty much pop up all of your collection. It's like if somebody is just taking a look at your collection, these are gonna be the first two figures they're gonna see because of the coloring and how bright their suits are. And again, both of them just look absolutely amazing. I just can't wait to match up this Deadpool with the Hugh Jackman Wolverine. It's just gonna be such a treat for sure. But for now, this is what we have to resort for, and both figures look absolutely amazing. Okay, everyone, so we have reached the end of this video where pretty much I get to pose Wolverine in different ways along with giving my final thoughts on him. So first and foremost, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is one of my favorite figures I have ever collected. Yes, the pricing of the figure does have something to do with that, but to me, Hot Toys could have done a low pricing on this guy and the execution of the figure could have still been poor. But in this case, it isn't. This guy is great, man. I gotta tell y'all, I really love everything about this figure, and there's nothing that I can really think of that they could have done better. To me, the helmet is great. The silicone arms are perfect. The body proportions and articulations are great as well, along with the fabric of the suit. We, at the end of the day, get the metal claws, so we get to pretty much pose them with the metal claws and any type of iconic pose. So I really can't think of anything that they could have done better for this figure. To me, everything is great about him now. To me, this is the best Wolverine we've gotten up to date, and this is at the time of me filming this video, this is before we get the Deadpool and Wolverine figures, so that opinion is pretty much on standby until we get those figures. But for now, this is to me the best Wolverine figure we have gotten so far by Hot Toys / Hono Studios. I do want to get you guys' opinions on this figure. Let me know if you guys agree with what I just had to say, and as well as give me your guys' opinion on the whole Hono Studios project. So this is the first of 6 figures we are going to get from them. I expect more to be released in the future, so I do want to know what you guys have to say about this specific project along with the figures. So before I do end the video, guys, as always, want to thank you for supporting the channel. It means the world to me, all of the support that you guys provide to me, and for watching my videos on a daily basis. I do want to remind you that not only can you subscribe to the channel now, but now you guys can join in the membership, the Jedi Masters, for $2.99. For now, the perks to that is that I will shout you guys out on every single video. Also, you guys will have early access to my videos and will have a priority to me commenting back on you. I'm also thinking of other things that could make the membership even better, but for now, if you guys want to join in, feel free to do so. So as I mentioned before, I will include the link to Sideshow Collectibles, so that way you guys can join the waitlist if interested in buying this figure, along with the links to my TikTok and Instagram if you guys want to go ahead and follow me. So for now, this is going to be it for this Wolverine unboxing by Hono Studios. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.